The Initiative for Wellness and Athletic Excellence is going to have a transformative impact on Center and its students. This is J.P. Vaught, a junior sprinter from Somerset, Kentucky, and quite possibly the fastest Division III athlete on earth. And this is from the NCAA Outdoor Championships in North Carolina from May 2021. JP has just won the national championships in the 100 and 200 meter sprint. But let's rewind for just a minute. As a freshman during the 1920 season, JP watched his opportunities at the NCAA Indoor and Outdoor Championships evaporate in an instant. The world shut down due to COVID, and he was sent back to Danville. As a sophomore, COVID again wiped out the indoor championships in 2021, but at least the outdoor championship opportunities happened, to which JP experienced tremendous success. Fast forward to March 2022, and for the first time as a collegiate athlete, JP Vaught is finally able to compete at the NCAA Indoor Championships. JP Vaught lined up to compete in the finals of the 60-meter dash, an event his finals entry time of 6.78 seconds had him favored to win. As the starter calls for the sprinters to take their mark, a split second before the starting pistol goes off, JP, who is double jointed, moves ever so slightly and is called for a false start. Dealing with that disappointment, JP had exactly 40 minutes to deal with what had happened. He had to go through the stages of sadness, anger, and frustration to turn around and compete in the finals of the 200-meter sprint at 4:20 p.m. When 4:20 came, JP won that race in dominating fashion.
Let's go! Finish! Finish! Finish!
At Center, we teach resilience, audacity, and endurance. How to withstand adversity, learning how to triumph no matter the challenge. Courage and tenacity driving you forward, getting back up through the frustration and pain. Reaching for excellence again and again, reaching for the finish line. Be resilient. With your continued support of Center College, a donation to the Iway Project will support some amazing student athletes and get us to the finish line.
Well, I got one play left in me. I actually asked all the former players if they had one play left in me. Everyone embellishes their career, so that's the best play I know. I can't tell you how excited I am that you all came out tonight. I'll speak for my wife and I. It warms our heart to see all the former football players. I'm very grateful and blessed to be able to think that we serve a small part of their lives at this point. And so I can't thank you all for just blessing me, as they say. Before I give you a little bit of an overview of what the season is going to hopefully turn out, that's a great story. Athletes, as you all know, practice those virtues that make great men and women do extraordinary things. And it inspires us all when we see things like this happen. And I do want to share with you one thing that has inspired me. Recently, our quarterback, Trent Duper, he was the conference player of the year, newcomer of the year, all conference, region, all American, academic, all region. He's what Hayden Fry used to say in Iowa, he's your cowbell. He was our cowbell for our offense. was. Well, June 10th, his life changed dramatically. He gave up with sarcoma cancer. And John and Roush and I had the opportunity to see Trent last month. And I'll tell you, talk about inspiration. I mean, his attitude was incredible. The humility. He didn't want to talk about him. He wanted to talk about his teammates and how they're doing and what they're doing and what he can do to serve center football. It's just incredible to me. And I can't tell you, I told John this, that it warmed my soul when I left. So the best thing about Trenton was, and this is part of the athletic picture, he had a tumor, a sarcoma about the size of an orange, that's in his, near his aorta. And miraculously, they were going to do a biopsy, and it shrunk. And so they could now go in and hopefully try to remove it. And basically the surgeon said, we're going to have to deflate your lung. Obviously the things that there's a risk. And here's what his father told him. He said, he understood, he was very concerned because he understood the risks. And then he said he had that steel eye when he played football. He said, bring it on. That's inspiring. That's what football, and that's what athletics does. It teaches us to understand the fact that adversity is part of life, and you got to take it down. And I just want to share that with you. Yeah. Well, I want to introduce my coaching staff first, so I'm going to have them stand, so I'm going to make them feel really uncomfortable, all right? First, I want to introduce to you all Carter Conley. Carter, stand up for everybody that knows you. He's our defensive coordinator, our linebackers coach. In absentia is his wife, Christina, and his whole family. For those that were able to play under Carter Conley, he has not changed. I don't care if it was 20 years ago. I'm telling you, he's still like a toddler that he gives Skittles to. He just kind of knocks it out. And he's a joy to have on our staff, and the enthusiasm and intensity is just contagious. Next, I have Nate Simmons, who's our secondary coach, and he's with his wife, Shelby. And he coaches our secondary. He's an outstanding coach, and the best of coaching still ahead of him. By the way, we need to congratulate Shelby. She's going to carry a child for 9 months, so he's tough with it. She's tougher than him and Nate. So congratulations, Shelby. As we used to say, Nate, you're a mighty ram. So here we go. Thomas Lahendro. I love saying that, Lahendro. Yes, Thomas is our defensive line coach. Thomas is married to Vivian, and by the way, just real quick, we imported him from Scotland, played for the British national team for a couple of years. Here's an incredible story, just real quick. Thomas played football, played for the British national team. He's got a degree from Glasgow, which if you know anything about Glasgow, is an outstanding institution in Europe. He's an environmental engineer, and he obviously found football, and he basically came across the pond and coached at Kenyon College for 4 years, probably for the first year for free, which I'm sure his parents probably were very thrilled to hear about that. And then from there, went down to Kaiser and coached for a very good team in AIA. They were runner-ups in AIA nationally, and we're just thrilled to have him. He's a very good football coach. His wife is a marine biologist. She's still down there. She's one of the top people from what he says that knows all about seagrass. I have no idea. I don't know what they talk about in the staff meetings, but I'm sure it's not seagrass. But here we go. With that, then we have Clay Clevenger, who's not here. Clay Clevenger, his brother Mike Clevenger, for us. And then Clay went on to Carson was an All-American there. And then also was the head coach of Danville, and they won the state championship under his tutelage. And we're thrilled to have him as well. We'll move over to our offensive coordinator and our quarterbacks coach, and that's Rick Fox and his wife Julie. Rick, can you stand up? Yes, for those people who remember Rick, Rick returns for his second debut. And guys, I'll probably a little bit further about what Rick's impact has had for us. We're thrilled to have him back. He was at Drake University up in Iowa. He was the head football coach there, had an outstanding career there, coached 2 years at Taylor University, and we're thrilled to have him back. Sean Lashbrook. Sean is our wide receivers coach, and his wife. Guys, I'll tell you, he has impacted our wideouts to no end. We have probably one of the better group of wide receivers, and you can talk to them. I've seen Sam Murray's here. We're just thrilled to have Sean here. He brings a lot of depth to our offense. I'm very grateful for that. And then we have two new ones, all right? Will Bramble. Will, will you stand up? Will is a Boyle County high school graduate, played on the state championship team, and earned a scholarship at Purdue University, played 2 years there, and has decided, remarkably, to just get any other career and pursue coaching football. And we talked about this, Coach Fox and I think he's going to be an outstanding coach for us. We're thrilled he's coaching our tight ends, so glad to have him over here. And then our newest coach, actually today was his first day at work, and that is Robert Couch. Robert and his wife Jill. He is the newest coach on our staff, coaching the offensive line. He's got a nice pedigree behind him. He coached, actually he was a scholarship athlete at Vanderbilt and started for 4 years, played 4 years in the National Football League, and then coached 4 years for the Cincinnati Bengals under Marvin Lewis. So we're thrilled to have him with us. I think there's no question that he's going to bring a lot to the table for us as well as we can bring to him as well. So that's our coaching staff. Let me review here real quick for our season, just an overview for those. We have 46 incoming freshmen and 1 transfer coming into this class. 25% of these student athletes, first years, either played or won a state championship in their career in high school. So that tells you there's one thing is that they're winners. You want that, obviously. They represent 7 different states, and over half this class is not from Kentucky. And I think it gives you an overview that to play at the national level, we got to spread the net. And fortunately, we're able to attract some outstanding student athletes that are looking for an outcome, they're looking for an incredible experience, and they're looking because they love to play college football, and they want to win. And it's not a bad, those things all work together very well, and I'm very thankful for that. With that, I do want to say for a lot of you in here, thank you for your service and help in helping us really bring in these student athletes. These men will make a difference for the good in whatever they choose to pursue. And it starts with you all, letting them understand your experience, your outcome, and the things that are all part of that service. So let me get on to our season. Well, I'll do this very quickly. This fall we have 7 returners on offense, 9 on defense, and we have 1 specialist returning. On offense, obviously we're going to have a competition at the quarterback position, and those 2 are seniors, Nick Osterman and Bo Buchanan. And I'm excited to see this play itself out. They've got a lot of experience. For some of you guys, if I say this, I hope you'll say this, but the best thing that can happen is there's going to be competition, because competition does what? Competition does what? Oh, I love it. Man, I tell you, see, some of them are listening in the staff meetings. There we go. Okay, with that, on offense, I think we've got an outstanding wide receiver core, Sam Murray, Court Marbar, as a collective group, this could be our most talented wide receivers group. Now, we've had talented wide receivers, but as a group and a depth, they're really good, very good. And, I've always said we're good coaches when we have good talent, and we're good coaches when we have their talent. And Coach Ashworth said that at school, all right? So there we go. And then, at the running back position, we have one of our running backs that got some work for us this year, and that's Will McDaniel. Obviously, his father, pedigree, not too far. Tim is an outstanding running back for us as well. And then we also have Damian Jones, who's returning, who's been injured. So I think we're going to have a really good depth. There's a lot of good, 3 good freshmen first years that are coming in. I think they can really help serve our offensive running back. And then lastly, I think our offensive line is about as good an offensive line that we've had in years. We've had good offensive linemen, but not collectively in this group. One thing I learned when we played Mount Union twice in the second round of the playoffs, the biggest difference that I noticed was the interior play. Our skill match, we could match up with our skill. It was the interior. We might have one offensive lineman that would start for Mount Union, maybe 2 to be backups, and the other 2 may not even get on the field. And that's where, if you follow football, that's where the game's played. You better have the interior, offensively and defensively. And I firmly believe these 5 linemen, they can play at the national level. So that's exciting for us. We feel if we can stay healthy, they can play. And then I want to go over on the defensive side real quick. We have a defensive lineman that may be, from all publications, says may be the best defensive lineman in the country. That's an Oliver Hunter. Oliver's probably a 6'4", 270 kid, 260, but he power cleans 375, and I can't even lift 25 of that, so it's incredible. He's got a real great get-off. And he's got a little nasty. He's a nice kid, he plays football and he plays hard. And then we also have another young man, Chrissy Vincent, from out of Atlanta, that I think will be just as good one day. I think he's going to be a really good one. Dallas Douglas from Louisville, played at Male High School, really good from the edge. There we go, Robert. I know. Yeah, he's a good one. And then we have, obviously, we're going to meet our linebacker core. One of those is Armand Wells. Armand was an all-conference football player for us. He's got a lot of knack. He's relentless. He's got good speed. He's got a great IQ, good football IQ. And I think he can also balance that out with another linebacker from Bowling Green, Miles Smith. And then we've got a plethora of linebackers that I think can compete. Then we also picked up a transfer that I think that will give us a lot of leverage as well from the University of Kentucky. Very bright kid, on a merit scholarship. He'll fit in real well here. And then in the secondary, I feel very strongly that we've got a lot of depth. And there's going to be competition, and that's kind of what Coach Simmons, that's his job, to figure out how it all works. So, and in our special teams, we have one returning kicker. We had an all-conference kicker that was injured last year, and he's back, so there'll be some great competition there as well. So with that, we have a number of returners. I think that, quite honestly, I think we can compete at the national level as long as we stay healthy. And we'll just have a blast playing. All right, that's what we are. Just have a blast playing. So with that, thank you all. Great
All right. How y'all doing tonight? Good. My name is Armand Wells, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a 5th-year senior here at Center this year. I'm from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. I went to Frank Creek High School. Tiger Pride, baby. Tiger Pride all the way. I'm really proud to be a 4th member of the inaugural cohort of Christian Scholars at Center College, as well as an executive member of the Black Student Organization. I will be receiving my Bachelor's of Arts in Politics in the fall of 2023 with a minor in, spring of 2023. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, spring of 2023. Timeline's getting a little confused. 5th year now, you know. Yeah, I'll be receiving a politics degree in the fall of 2023. Or I just said it again. Spring of 2023, and I plan to go to law school and study law in the fall of 2023. There we go. All right. Yeah, I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel abroad, study abroad in my time here at Center. This past Center term, I went to Germany and Poland, where I got to study the African origins of the Holocaust. So that was really interesting. Followed that up with a trip to Ireland with the team this past summer. That was an amazing trip, once in a lifetime opportunity to go overseas and play some other people in football. We really beat up on the Irish, and that was a lot of fun. And crazy enough, I get to travel abroad one more time this upcoming Center term. I will be traveling to Nairobi, Kenya, to study culture and religion there. So that would be really interesting. Center College certainly has been a place full of great opportunities for me, and I'm super thankful that I've been blessed with these opportunities. But tonight, I would like to take the time to share the gratitude that I have towards Center College and the Center College football program specifically. So over the past 4 years, this program has definitely helped craft me not only into the best version of a student athlete that I could be, but also the best version of a man that I could be. I've been blessed with opportunities to fellowship and build relations with the guys around me that have proven to be impactful in my life in many different ways. Tonight, I'm extremely grateful to share those opportunities and experiences with you and my fellow Center community. So my first year at Center, I was fortunate enough to be a part of the 2018 SAA conference championship team. Got this big boy right here. Love that. That was a great experience to come into a winning program, especially out of high school. We always got really close to the ring, but never made it happen. So coming in 2018, it was great to finally be a champion. My sophomore year, it was a really interesting season. It was a year full of close games, a year full of heartbreaking games, and also a year full of broken buses. Some may say it was a year full of adversity, for sure. Moving on to junior year, we were kind of robbed of our opportunities to play in the fall. COVID-19 pandemic and all, everybody knows the full-fledged effect that it had on the community. But we still got the opportunity to play the great sport in the spring for our shortened winter season, and that was a whole lot of fun. Let me tell you, there's nothing like shoveling the snow off the turf with 100 other guys just to be able to play some football. That's one thing that I'll never forget. This past year, I felt was really important for the Center football program as a whole. I would say it was a statement year. It was a year to reinforce the tradition and the culture that is Center football, and that's a winning program. So our 8-2 season last year, in conjunction with our Ireland trip over this summer, I think will be a great catalyst for this 2022 season when we go out there and win another SAA conference championship and then proceed to win the national championship. I've been extremely blessed to be a member of a program that cultivates selflessness and courageous men that are willing to sacrifice so many things for the people, for the well-being of the people around them. Our team is full of guys that are convicted with the passion to pursue excellence with vengeance. The Center football program, as we know it today, would not function without the GOAT himself, Coach Andy Fry. Coach Fry's been a great mentor for me in my time here at Center. He's encouraged me over the years to grow and go above and beyond as a servant leader, not only in my local community, but throughout the world. Honestly, I didn't really understand what Coach Fry meant the first time I heard him say something about servant leadership. But in time, it was really easy to spot great examples of aspiring servant leaders throughout the community and all around me. From the team room, to the locker room, to the coaches' offices, there are courageous men who value the relationships being created around them and actively display gratitude toward one another. And that's something that I truly appreciate. Coach Fry's always said that the highest quality of a man is when his yes is a yes and his no is a no. This helped me become more trustworthy and accountable, not only to my teammates, but also in all relationships in my life. Coach Fry's also helped me develop my faith. I know God is real because during the 2020 season, for 10 weeks straight, Coach Fry prayed for adversity. And for 10 weeks straight, adversity was welcomed into our lives. Mostly in the form of broken buses and overtime games, but hey, we still had it. We're always praying for adversity. Coach Fry's been coaching for just over 35 years, and you can still see the fire and passion he has for the game. He's collected a laundry list of well-deserved accolades over the course of his career, yet he still maintains a level of humility in class that I believe is clearly reflected throughout our whole program. Coach Fry, your dedication to this program and dedication to the lives of the men in this program is truly commendable. I appreciate your fearless leadership and humility over the years, and I look forward to entering a new era of center football with you and the team. Those other guys are not ready for what's coming. Again, I just want to take the chance to show gratitude to Coach Fry, the football program as a whole, all of my coaches and mentors, and Center College as a whole. All of you have allowed me to grow and flourish in this community, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I want to take a quick moment to give a couple of special shout-outs. So I want to shout out to Coach Conley for being a great leader, my position coach, challenging me every day. So thank you for being a great leader and a man of integrity. Your dedication to the program has been inspirational, to say the least. Also, I want to take this chance to give a shout out to Mr. Grissom, who's joining us here tonight. Your support opened the doors for me to center and gave me the opportunity to take advantage of all these life-changing opportunities. So I'm eternally grateful for that, and I really appreciate you and your dedication to center. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to my parents for always encouraging me to chase my dreams and loving me unconditionally. I wouldn't be here without you all, so I appreciate everything you've done for me and the sacrifices that you've made to get me to where I am today. Thank you for being here tonight. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for your time letting me speak. Thank you for letting me speak. You know, that's what it's been an honor. It's been a great honor. And I'm so glad to see everybody out here tonight. What a wonderful opportunity. And roll currents with me.
So back to follow. Thank you, everyone. I'm Brad Fields, Director of Athletics at Center College in class of 1998. I really do feel like I have the best job in America. I get to work with amazing student athletes like you just heard from one. And I get a front row seat for what happens with our amazing and talented mentors like Coach Fry. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that in my eyes. So as you've started to figure out a little bit, we're celebrating what has happened with center football, and in particular, our good friend, Coach Fry. You know, there's no place more special to me than center, my alma mater. I don't have enough time in the program tonight to go through exactly all those reasons why, but I assure you that what our coaches do day in and day out with our student athletes is inspiring, and no one does it better than Andy. Sure, if you played for Andy, you're pretty convinced his retirement portfolio probably was tied up in gold corral stock. Or if you worked with Andy, as some of you have in the room, you always know how to find him, right? Just follow the coffee stains up the stairs of Sutcliffe, because like breadcrumbs, they'll lead you right to it. Probably the most interesting item in Andy's office is a Starbucks cup, right? It's dated March 14th, 2008. Maybe that means something to you guys. It doesn't mean anything to me. It does to Andy. It reads, and I quote, "Hit by truck, 1:44 p.m., end quote. That happens to be the day that he was hit by a truck as he crossed Maple and Main, holding that coffee cup, probably headed over to admissions to lobby for a case for a worthy young man to attend Center College. But this isn't a roast for Andy, I promise. Instead, it's an opportunity for so many of us to not wait until retirement day, because that's a long way down the road, right, Coach? But it's an opportunity to say how much of an impact he's had and will continue to have on people. For many of my colleagues around the country, their football program keeps them up at night. They have their cell phones close at hand, even when they're trying to sleep at night. The concern is that there's something always could go wrong, and maybe even on the verge of crisis. I'm thankful that's not my story, and that's not the story of center football under Coach Fry's direction. Andy is a leader and a teacher, and generations of young men have been made better, as you just heard from, because of him. You heard Pursue Excellence with a Vengeance, PEV, something that's familiar to many of you in the room. But for folks that are not as close to the program, they may not realize that it is the pursuit of excellence in all things, on and off the field. So for me, football is one program that I do not stay up late at night worrying about, because I know that Andy has built a culture that demands accountability, respect, humility, and compassion. And I say, Andy is likely the most selfless person I have ever encountered. And I suspect many of you would echo that sentiment. He's dedicated his life to building young men of character, using the game of football as the vehicle for that. Winning games, we like it, and it is important in the formula. But in the end, it is a byproduct of learning how to live a courageous life. This impressive facility we're constructing could be placed on other campuses. Or we could have this facility on campus and have a different head coach. But it's the combination of both at this special moment in time that makes this the right recipe for creating the best college football program, I would argue, in America, for families to send their 18-year-old young men to for a transformative, holistic, and empowering education. They get a chance to compete on the field with the best programs in the country in Division III, and off the field, they leave with a center degree and a priceless experience. Many of you have given to this project because you know what goes on inside the walls, inside those lines, and throughout the program. Each of you know that an investment in this program that reaches back more than 100 years is an investment in making tomorrow's world a better place. Andy once told me that the greatest compliment he had received was when a Board of Trustees member referred to him as an alumnus of the college, not realizing he actually didn't attend Center. You see, with Andy's humility, he didn't see himself as good enough to have been a Center student athlete, but in truth, he was. Andy's tireless work ethic, his principled integrity, his compassion for young people, and his desire to learn and to teach would have made him an ideal Center student, and one we would hold up and be proud of. Andy would never see himself as worthy for such an evening as this, but this is exactly why he is worthy. Andy's impact on the lives of so many in this room, as well as literally thousands more around the country and the world, has been immense. Yet, he doesn't see himself as worthy of praise, in part because he's doing what he loves and what is right. So while I know this is an emotional time for you, Andy, I would have regretted not pausing in the midst of the chaos to say thank you and to hold you up as worthy to honor and to celebrate. And we say thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Milton Moreland, the 21st president of Centre College, on the stage with me to further recognize Andy's legacy with a special announcement. And I would also ask our hosts for the evening to join us on stage, Tony Curlis, John McCarthy, and David Christie.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. This is an incredible night for Centre College. I hope we have many more of these occasions together. Louisville is an incredible city for Centre College, and it's a great place to celebrate this announcement that I'm very pleased to make. At Centre College, we make leaders. It's all about leadership. It really is. And I'm looking at the evidence right in front of me at every one of these tables. It's a meaningful place that is transformative. And when you come into the football program at Centre College, you know you are meant to be a leader. And that is because your coaching staff models it every day. And that is made possible by Coach Andy Fry. Leadership comes because you have mentorship. Leadership comes because you have role models. Leadership comes because you have people that live it every day. And Andy Fry is at the top of my list of what it means to be a mentor who lives it every day. I'll read this part so I don't get it wrong. While he may be too humble to admit the wins that Andy has accumulated in helping to develop global citizens all around this world that came out of Centre College, on the field, yes indeed, but far greater in their lives, you have developed leaders. And thus, it is my excited honor to announce the college's campaign to name the stadium at Centre College in honor of Andy Fry. So as Brad was talking about a moment here that Andy might be struggling with, of course you know that this is not what he woke up one day thinking should happen. No, this was a little conversation, but it's right. And it is meaningful to the college. And as I told Andy, at some point he's going to take one for the team here, because this is a moment to celebrate a great leader, but a humble leader. And your servant leadership comes with humbleness. I know this is not the sign that you were necessarily thinking would be our wish for what that stadium would be called, but it is our wish. And I want to thank the three people behind me who are making the impact here to get this campaign started. Tony, John, and David have laid a foundation at the college as leaders, both at Center and in their communities. And they have stepped up to make a commitment to helping us make this opportunity achievable. The goal here is that we are going to raise $2 million. And that's part of what we have to do as a college to keep us moving forward. But we are starting with an anonymous $1 million gift to make this possible. So we are very grateful to alumni who have already stepped up and to our hosts this evening who are pushing this campaign forward with many of you in this room and hundreds of other people who have been impacted by Andy and by the football program through the years. Andy, by the way, I know comes in a long line of great coaches at Center College. But I'm proud that we are able to name this in his honor. Very proud that we're able to get this campaign started with a 1 million plus donation. And now, my favorite part of being a president is I get to say, won't you join us? Let's get to the goal line. And we can make this happen. Whether you individually see an opportunity for this being a time to give back and to be a benefactor, philanthropist to the program that has meant a lot to you, to your family, to your children. Also want to say to teams, this is an opportunity for classes to get together and think about how you want to both recognize the impact that this program has had on your lives together. So we're open to every idea about how to reach that $2 million goal. But that really is part of what it means to be a great liberal arts college, a top-ranked, world-class liberal arts college, that alumni, that friends, foundations, and families give back to this place and make it possible for many, many people to attend this college that just otherwise couldn't afford to. So I'm responsible to say, please help us out. Really, this is an opportunity that is one in a century. That stadium will be there, we hope, for at least 100 years as the stadium was before. And so it really is a moment in time to give back to Center, to think about some ways that Center has impacted your lives, and to pay it forward. With that, I'm so grateful that you're here tonight, grateful for the occasion to celebrate football. I want more of these occasions. This feels like the beginning of a great tradition, actually, of having a great dinner with alumni to celebrate football. I also want to say that we've got some indoor facilities and an elevator as you get to the stadium and come back to Danville to watch some games. I would love to host you in one of the suites that we're going to have at the stadium now. So a real opportunity to not only enjoy the game on the field, but also enjoy the game in these beautiful new stands and in the suites that have been, they're under construction right now. Please do come back to Danville. Come back and see us whenever you can. Center is strong. Center is getting stronger based on a 203-year history and tradition. Our values are strong. Our culture is strong. Go Currents. Thank you.
I'm going to be standing at the door. If I want to get out, I need a check.
Thank you. I feel like I should say a few things, and I'm going to go very quickly so I'm talking this. Thank you, Dr. John. I could say 3 points, but I think it'll be more. One, I'm very thankful. I'm overwhelmingly just humbled that this is so hard. But I'm going to speak off the cuff real quickly. One, I'm experiencing, and you all are experiencing a moment right now, and unfortunately I'm at this moment. But I think it would be remiss if we don't recognize what brought this moment to this point. So please let me do this. One, you think of what the impact college football has on men's lives. I think back to 1921 when Senator B. Hall. And people don't realize that game, that Charlie Moran, an outstanding coach, was ahead of his time when that happened. And they put college football on the front page across the country. It was the front page of the sports page. Even in Topeka, Kansas, they were reading about Senator beating Hobb. That's huge. And then you go to the next step. I'm going further. I think of Bristol Inman, a coach that had the 10-0 football team in 1955. And then you go into the coaches and Steel Harmon and realizing, talking to men that were coached with Steel, the impact he had on their lives. And then Herb McGuire's here. And I had the opportunity to work with Herb McGuire. We had a blast. We won 2 championships with him. And Steel and Herb won conference championships in the 60s and 70s. And then I want to do this shout out. And I'm so thankful that the McDaniel family is here. Where is the McDaniel family? Where are you? Right there. You know, I told your dad this, that he brought the passion back into my life in coaching. And I watched in his quiet assertiveness, I learned so much from him. Watching, observing, and affirming, and encouraging, and watched how he noticed how you make a difference in men's lives. And I couldn't have had a better mentor than Tim. Couldn't have had a better mentor. Just very grateful I got to work under him. I learned more do's than don'ts from him. And then I got to go on further that, John and Susie Rausch, when I took over the position, they impacted my life and our family's life by really instrumentally just pushing forward the things that we really felt we were called to do. And I'm just so thankful for John and Susie helping us really build on what we think is the mission and the objective of our program, and that's to make the difference in men's lives for the greater good when they leave here. I've had some great coaches. I saw Kevin Titus is here. Todd Frakes, you were part of that whole process when I first started. I'm so grateful for that. You were great coaches. You were Todd, you were a great coach, Kevin. And I have to mention 2 coaches in our staff right now. Carter Conley, you've been with me for 20 years, and I'm so thankful for you. I tell people I practically raised Carter. Carter, you raised me. Your passion, your enthusiasm, your excitement, your positive mental energy affected me so much every day. I love going to work. There are days I go to work, I can't believe they pay me to do this. There's some days I think they don't pay me enough. But I just think, wow. And then Rick and Julie Fox, Rick, I had to follow a legend, Joe McDaniel, and it was a difficult year. And Rick came into our staff and really helped me continue to focus on what we know to be true and right and what our objective was as a program and to the kids. And I'm very thankful for you and Julie for all that. I also want to thank David Grissom. David, your support to Center My two children are part of that product. They both play sports there, and I'm very thankful for what you're doing. And they can tell you they're thankful for that. Dr. Moreland, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to make Center College the greatest college in the country, just like we're going to be the greatest football program in the country. And then two things that I'll end here. I want to thank my family, my wife Cindy, my son Nate, Jenny, Courtney, Eric, her husband. I couldn't have done anything without you guys. They were coaches, kids in a coach's life. They allowed me to do what I was called to do, and they made me better for that. Thank you guys. And lastly, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about the guys that I had the opportunity to coach. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for allowing me to coach you. The fact that maybe I had a small impact in your life. Our football program had a small impact in your life, and why you're making a difference for the good in your vocation, in your relationships, in your community. I just want to say right now, thank you for enriching my life and blessing me.